some of the juicy stuff today. So let me get down to the stuff. Like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. It's your boy Paul. So let's get down to the mess. So first up, we got my boy Chris Breezy. So apparently he done got himself arrested over in UK in London. So apparently this incident happened back in 2023, where in a nightclub in the nightclub where he allegedly hit a producer with a bottle of Don uh, Julio. I think I'm saying it last night. A bottle of liquor. So apparently he hit a producer with a bottle of liquor at the club way back 2 years ago, and apparently he was over in London recently, over there right now, and he got arrested. The police ended up showing up at the hotel that he's staying at after they found out that he was back in town. And now they arrested him, and allegedly he is being held and not released. So I'm like, okay, if this happened all the way back, um, February, it happened February 2023, and y'all just now all of a sudden, it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years, and y'all just now he didn't been over there in the last 2 years more times than you can ever dream of, and y'all just now all of a sudden wanting to arrest him. It's kind of fishy, but good luck, Chris Brown. Hopefully he get out on bail soon. I haven't heard anything about it, but good luck, Chris. So let's move on to Halle Bailey. So Halle Bailey then actually been granted temporary custody of her son. She's been granted sole custody, primary custody, until they go back to hearing back coming up next month on the 5th. No, on the 4th, June 4th. So she has a hearing and with the judge June 4th, because she also filed for full custody last month because she in fear of her safety from him assaulting her. As she was granted this restraining order, just a day or two ago. And so now she's like, I don't trust her. So yeah. And also let's get into his mother. So his mother, when this restraining order that she was granted, his mother wanna come out and say, I have not spoke about this relationship, but I'ma speak now. She came out to say nothing. Not a thing. She came out to not run her mouth. Girl, you could have just kept it closed. Well, you on your child's side. And on top of that, one of his so since he is not allowed to speak on her or Halo, so his friends are streaming friends has actually been coming out to speak for him, and now they saying that Haley was abusing him. I said, come on now. Come on. Come on. Do I believe that? I don't know. I ain't heard nothing about it. But I said she had proof. She had proof to get the restraining order, so apparently she got what it needed to get him. So good luck. Hopefully Haley get what she want. And apparently, detail of the report of what she want in her for full custody and stuff. She said that he actually, when she was pregnant, he had threatened her before. I said, this is getting deeper and deeper. I said, what's going on up in there? What's going on? I said, girl, you dealing with a lot with a man. And I said, this man had threatened her when she was pregnant, and he saying that he wasn't gonna pay no child support or anything. I said, Lord, Haley, you ain't ran. You didn't run before you stayed with him. And hopefully everything works out, girl. Everything works out. Good luck, Haley Bailey, on this situation. June 4th, we'll find out what the judge decide on, if it's gonna be a 50-50 custody or whatever. Because she don't even really want him to even have visitation. At that, she want him visitation where he being watched. So tell me how y'all feel about it. Hello in the comments. How y'all doing today? How your day going? Let's move on to finesse two. So finesse 2 times then got himself. He didn't got released. Charges was dropped. So he said, he said no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I said, sir, if you wouldn't been doing what you doing, coming for a child and arguing with a child, you wouldn't be in the situation that you was. But you gonna do what you gonna do. But good luck, sir. Keep your head up. So Donald Trump actually then did an executive order where he's really going through with this self deportation program, and he signed the executive order. We got to see if it goes through through the House and everything, and we'll see how this go for illegal immigrants. We moving on past him. We move on to Miss Kenya Moore. So Miss Kenya Moore came on her social media to let us know that the false narrative about her salon being shut down is not true. Her salon is up and running and it is open regularly. But the comments were saying I drive. One person said I drive by every day and it look closed. It's closed. She said we open and you is available to book. I said, good luck, Kenya, on your endeavors. Move on past Miss Kenya Moore. Let's move on to a TikToker. So a TikTok woman is actually going viral because she used gorilla glue to glue on gems on all her teeth. I said we ain't learned from Gorilla Hair Girl that this ain't what you want. I said that's nasty, girl. Ugh. But she went viral on that. So let's move on past her. Let's move on to my girl Tamar Braxton. So Tamar ended up on Nene Leak's show. New episode came out. And so she ended up talking about, Lonnie Love and Candy Burris. She went Lonnie when it came to Lonnie Love, she called Lonnie Love a in her words, a big back Cadillac. I said, girl, that big back Cadillac. Hey, how you doing in the comments? Big back Cadillac. I said, girl, I said, well, she said if she would have known when she was casting, she would have cast Nene Lee over uh, Lonnie Love because she said she think that Jenny Mao was one of the people that brought Lonnie Love on, and I said, well, I could see that. You can kind of tell that Tamar was holding back during her interview with Nene Leakes show that she was really holding back when it came to Lonnie Love and that whole real situation and what really went down, and that you can tell that Lonnie Love had something to do with her being kicked off the show, and it's just what it was. So we move on to her and Candy Burris. So she ended up saying that she don't have a problem with Candy Burris. She said there's no issue. She went, I, and there's no issue with us. I just don't. I don't have nothing to do with you. I'm done. I don't want nothing to do with you or anything like that. It's just that you lied on me, and you need to publicly apologize about that lie. And it's the comments, people like calling her a clown and all this. I said they always gonna call Tamar this, that, and the third. And she said that this is what she said about Candy. She said Candy need to be she just need to be a better person because she's doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, slick stuff. And I said, yeah, that's always been Candy Burris. Candy Burris has always been that person. And what you see her present in front of you, in front of the cameras and stuff like that, yeah, that's faker than fake. I have never liked the Candy, and I could actually see Candy. I always saw Candy for who she was when she stepped on the scene, and definitely when she did reality TV. I said 100%. She always been that backstabbing girl. And so, Tay Tay just ain't feeling her. And, Nene said, I need to sit down with her. She like, yeah, you can sit down with her, but I ain't. I said, "Oh, girl." So let's move on past the Tamar being on Nene show to Shameea. So Shameea was on the Breakfast Club, and she went through, them asking her some questions. She ended up answering about her friendship with Portia. I'm really tired of her and Portia. I said, so to me, her and Portia are so much alike that I understand why they're friends. But she's saying that, her and Portia had talk off camera, but she feel like the Breakfast Club was asking a question like, what do you think that why she acting the way she is? She mean Portia is more of an introvert. I said, girl, why you lying? That girl ain't no goddamn introvert. She's just straight up. Oh, HO, girl. She's a HO. That's what she is, and she always been. She ain't never been no introvert. The way she acts. And so Shameea said, still trying to be a good friend to her during this whole interview and stuff. And she said, you got to watch the show to find out how things go. And then they talked about, she said, I'm good friends with Angela. I'm good friends with Kelly. But she said that Britt just not a good person. I said, girl, but you still friends with Portia. Like, you saying that Britt is not a good person overall, but Portia is not. But you're not a good person either. None of y'all women on the show are good people to me. At the end of the day, y'all all are miserable women. But y'all want to call one person out. But, okay, Shameea. But that's what Shameea got going on with her. So, it was another thing that I want to talk to y'all about. It was somebody else. Who was it? 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 Yeah, this whole I ain't getting into that Diddy stuff. That Diddy stuff getting on my nerves already. And it's day 8, and I don't care. But that's all I got for y'all. It's your boy Paul. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. It's your boy Paul. And y'all have a nice day. And I'll get back at y'all later. Bye y'all.